So let's start our trading today. I have already analyzed and selected all the currency pairs with the most optimal movement pattern and payout percentages. You can see the selection in front of your eyes. Let's analyze the following indicators for today. It will be a fractal and an alligator with absolutely default settings and a CCI oscillator. With a period of 15, today my main task will be the correct trend analysis, as well as the search for a pullback trend dynamics. And a careful and correct analysis of local highs and lows. We will monitor their appearance and also start from these maximum points. Also mandatory today, it will be, this is an overbought and oversold area. We will also monitor the oscillator's moving line and the exits of its moving line. From one area or another, in general, I think there should be no questions since I will try to explain each trade in detail. And let's start trading today, starting with a deal of $100. All trades will be open, Anna, in the 1 minute time frame. Let's get started and select the first currency pair. Here you can try to open a deal against the trend direction. Judging by the pullback dynamics in this section of the movement, we see that good pullbacks are also present, despite the fact that for the most part, the trend dynamics here are more of a downward trend. But also, as I said earlier, there are good pullbacks here, so you can open the link against trend directions, especially since we are exiting the oversold area according to my oscillator. And there was also an update of the local minimum earlier. Let's look at the result. And the first trade closes at a plus. Here, I was not guided by the moving lines of the alligator since I opened the deal against the direction of the trend. In general, I was absolutely right. I closed the deal at a plus. Let's continue, and I will select the next currency pair. In fact, here, you can open a deal to lower the price. I am guided here by the moving lines of the alligator, including here, I observe a slight intersection of the moving lines from top to bottom. Despite the fact that the local minimum is being updated here, the moving line along the oscillator has not yet touched the oversold area. So in this case, I conclude that our further dynamics may go down. So I'm opening a deal for a decline. We're looking at, and here I was absolutely right again. Let's probably open a deal for $170 now, since the balance currently allows it. And let's continue, and I'll pick the next currency pair. Or you can try to open a deal for an increase. There is also a good upward trend in this currency pair. And in general, I see a slight intersection of the alligators moving lines from the bottom up. The local minimum was also updated earlier. Two of these points indicate that a deal can be opened for an increase. And there was also an exit from the oversold area. The overbought area has not been crossed. So in this case, I open a deal to increase. Let's look at the result. Still, I made a bit of a mistake here. Most likely the price pullback in these four green candlesticks has ended and the further dynamics of the movement have followed me down again in the actual direction of the trend. Perhaps I have a reversal here. Yes, actually now I will bet $200 per trade. To reach a profit that suits me better, I will need to take a risk and open a deal for the entire amount of your balance. I will try to select the entry of the transaction in more detail. Let's continue, and I will select the next currency pair. And here's why. Not open a deal against the direction of the downward trend dynamics. I have a relatively good touch point in general, and the moving line along the oscillator is in the overbought area. I open a deal against the direction of the alligator moving lines. According to my logic, I think that a slight pullback of the dynamics should be present here as well. There should be an update of the local maximum. Let's look at the result of this transaction. Actually, the dynamics rolled back, and at the beginning, the price stood still a little, a dodge candle formed, but still after that, there was an impulse of downward direction, and I closed the deal without any problems. And the plus, also to get back into a good profit, I will put the maximum of my balance for the next deal. I will take risk again. Let's continue. And I will select the following currency pair for the most optimal entry into the transaction. And let's try to open a deal here again. Only here, we will probably open a deal to increase. I think there is a good touch point. And in general, I think there should be an update of a new local minimum. Also, the moving line of the oscillator is in the oversold area. There may be an exit. I will also note this touch point. In general, there is a potential for a reversal. Earlier, we also updated the local maximum. According to its logic, the local minimum should be updated. Let's look at the result. And literally in the last seconds, there was an exit and the deal was closed in A+. Great. Let's probably change the amount of the transaction value and set the maximum again to get into an excellent profit for today. And let's select the next currency pair. And here I will open the deal downwards. I am no longer focusing on the alligator here. I am opening a deal here against the direction of the real trend dynamics. There are also good touch points here. In general, there was also an update of the local maximum on the fractal earlier, an exit from the overbought area on my oscillator. There is a potential for further price movement down. Let's look at the result. And the deal is closing in A+. A confident closing. I didn't even think that such an impulsive movement could follow at this moment. I thought it would happen a little later. But nevertheless, it's great. I'm absolutely happy with the result of trading today. Let's move on to the conclusion and fix today's profit. The amount of today's profit will be $1030. The withdrawal operation is being successfully performed like this. Today, trading turned out using these indicators. In general, nothing was complicated. The movement today is more or less prudent, and the strategy for today's movement was perfectly selected. So I record an excellent trading result. If you have any questions, then in the description under the video, you can find a link to my Telegram and ask any question you're interested in. I will definitely try to help everyone, but of course, good luck in trading and see you soon.